Where certain NBA players rank all time is something I discuss regularly with my fellow NBA fans, and I am constantly flabbergasted by people who like to use regular season awards and even championships to rank players. I do not believe that awards should have an impact on where you rank a player. I don't think one person having more MVPs than the other, or more Defensive Player of the Years, or even more All NBA teams, or championships or finals MVPs. I do not think these things should factor in when you rank a player, and I am going to explain why right now. When you do go to rank an NBA player, there are several factors I think need to be taken into account. The obvious ones are how good were they at their peak, how good were they throughout their prime, and what does their overall longevity look like. How they performed in the playoffs is another big factor. An all-time great regular season player won't rank as highly if they disappear in the postseason on a regular basis. Oh, Will Chamberlain. Oh. The help that player had throughout their career and the competition they faced is also an important factor, as if you have better help or face weaker opponents, you're going to generally perform better than you would otherwise. These are the things that I consider when I rank a player, but something else I see most people factor in, at least to some extent, are the accolades a player wins throughout their career. Now, I do think that accolades like MVPs, Defensive Player of the Years, All NBA teams, even championships, are great indicators of how good a player was during a certain season. But there are two major problems when it comes to using them for rankings. Number one, they completely lack context surrounding the season in question. DeAndre Jordan made first team All NBA during the mid 2010s. Not only was this award just undeserved in general, which we'll get to in a moment, but the center position was incredibly weak at the time, so DJ making first team All NBA was not as impressive as you would think because there really wasn't anyone else you were going to give the award to either. In contrast, Hakeem Olajuwon only made third-team All-NBA in 1995 while being arguably the best player on the planet, because the position was much deeper and other superstar centers won more games than he did in that regular season. The second big reason that I don't give a crap about accolades is because even when you account for competition, these accolades are often just obviously wrong because they were voted on by morons. And I don't even mean that sarcastically. Like, genuinely sit there and think about it for a second. How many of the guys who talk on ESPN all day long about NBA players do you actually value the opinion of? Because personally, I could not give less of a crap what Stephen A. Smith, or Kendrick Perkins, or Charles Barkley, or Skip Bayless, or 50 other dudes I could name think about NBA players right now, because they don't know what they're talking about. Their job is to go out there and generate clicks with hot takes, and not even hot takes, takes that they actively know are bad, because they will make people angry, and angry people will go and complain online and generate more interest for other people to see the content, and it's an endless cycle that makes them money. These guys are not paid to educate you with good, well thought out basketball opinions. They are paid to make you angry and create content which brings people in. As a result, nobody, or at least the vast majority of people, do not value their opinions. So if you don't value their opinions, why do you care who they voted for? Because these are also the guys who get to vote on awards each year. Kendrick Perkins directly influenced the MVP race last year by claiming Nikola Jokic only won his first two MVPs because he was white and there was racism amongst the voters. This is a guy who gets an MVP vote every single season. Why do you care what his opinion is? Why do you value it? And people want to say, well, even though they have biased votes, I still think they usually get it right. But do they really? I don't think they do. Think about MVPs throughout NBA history. Do you believe Embiid was the best player in the league last season? I sure don't, and I don't think he should have won MVP, and I'm saying that as an Embiid fan. Was James Harden the best player in the league in 2018? or Westbrook in 2017, or Steve Nash when he won his MVPs, or Derrick Rose in 2011, or going all the way back to Wilt Chamberlain winning in 1960 as a rookie while Bill Russell was carrying his team, or Dave Cowens winning it with John Havlicek on his team as well, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar putting up all-time great numbers on the Bucks. Do you think the majority of MVPs deserve to win the award? I would say no, they did not. And you can see it with other awards as well. You look at Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart won 2 years ago while not even being the best defender on his own team, guys. Not even the best defender on his own team. Why do you value these awards, which are voted on by idiots? I do not care what Kendrick Perkins and Stephen A. Smith think about the MVP race, because I know that they are dumb people. So as a result, we have people out here who value awards and say things like, well, I would have Jokic. This is literally someone I know who I think is a reasonably smart basketball fan. Said, well, I would probably have Jokic top 20 all time already if he had won a third MVP. Why? Why? His performance was incredible last year. If he had won MVP instead of the award going to Embiid because morons were voting, why would that raise where you rank Jokic all time? Why does this meaningless award have value to you? I just don't understand it. Most people believe that Kobe Bryant was the best player in the world in 2006, and if you believe that, why would him winning the award for MVP change how you rank him? He played the exact same and came in fourth. If he had won the award instead while playing the exact same way, why would you rank him higher? His performance didn't change. All that changed was the opinions of other people whose opinions are not valuable to begin with. So, regular season awards don't matter, but what about championships? The goal of basketball is to win a championship, so don't titles still have inherent value? And I would say, sort of. Titles themselves do not have value to me, but I will say deep playoff runs have value. And that is specifically because the deeper you go in the playoffs, the larger the sample size gets for your performance. So you are going to be able to build your legacy far more by going to the conference finals or the finals than you can going to the first or second round. But once you reach the conference finals, or especially the finals, if you're playing elite basketball, I don't really care if you win the title or not. Jerry West lost 9 final series in his career, but in the majority of those series, he played excellent basketball against a really, really good other team, while his own teammates are the ones who underperformed. So if Jerry West loses by 2 in the NBA Finals Game 7 to a much better team while he has underperforming, choking teammates, and he puts up an amazing stat line for the series, why would I rank him any differently if he had won instead of losing like he did? Tim Duncan, 2013, I made a video on him recently. If Tim Duncan had won in 2013 in Game 6, if Greg Popovich, his coach, had not made the dumb decision to take him out of the game at the end of Game 6, which directly led to Chris Bosh getting the rebound and Ray Allen hitting the 3, and then the Heat managing to win Game 6 and Game 7. Let's say Tim Duncan plays the exact same. He wins that series, and he is now 6-0 in the finals with 4 finals MVPs. His performance did not change. So why would I rank him any higher just because he has an additional title and an additional finals MVP? The way Tim Duncan performed is the exact same, but people would rank him higher because of something that was out of his control. LeBron James in 2015 lost to the Warriors because his teammates were injured and he was facing a much better team while he played amazing basketball. If LeBron James had managed to win that series while playing the exact same, why would I rank him any differently? His performance didn't change. You see what I'm saying? The way the player performed should be what matters. If you play great and go fairly deep in the playoffs, I think that is the value there. Losing to a really good team while you play great and your teammates don't step up to the plate is not on you as an individual player, and it should not impact your all-time ranking.